going to be showcasing a little bit of the new Manadome strategy and just how far can you get with this deck. Don't beg the 30% of you that have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. We're going to start off with a little bit of a combo tutorial here. We have a match for you, and we have the deck profile for you here as well. So most of the Manadome cards are going to be interacting on the point of, if you control X functionality here, this gets popped, you can go ahead and special summon out another copy. They're going to be free little tuner extensions so you can effectively kind of play the game. It's very, very interesting here. So you kind of get an idea of how we're going to start things off here. We're going to go ahead and ride cart on down here. We're going to go ahead and do our thing. Hey, look, it's a free arrival. My favorite. We're going to go ahead and bring down the Meek here. All right, free special summon. Go ahead and Manadome Ascension. So let's just target one monster we control, and we destroy it. And if we do, we add a Primal Planet Calarium from our deck to our hand, or if you control a Planet Calarium, you can add a Manadome Soul Trap card from your deck to your hand instead. But we're going to go ahead and get Calabarium here. We get our special summon since we popped it. Then we activate Calabarium here. It lets us add a Manadome monster or a Vice of Starfrost from our deck to our hand. And light monsters will get an extra 100 attack for each tuner card in our graveyard. So as long as we control blah blah blah. And then if a face-up tuner we control is controlled by a card effect, you can special summon one of them. Card's actually pretty good. We're going to get Riem Heart here. Or excuse me, we're going to grab the Vices here. Go ahead and Vices by popping that. We get our free revive, our additional extender. Now this is where we go on in to the Light Heart, because free extension nuggies here. We're going to go ahead and activate the Reichtophobia here. We're going to grab Reinhardt here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and special the Reinhardt. Alright, good value. Go ahead and capitalize on up into the Stardust here, which is going to get us a free revive. We're going to go ahead and make the Bysteel on into the Cross Sheep. We're going to go ahead and make the Vice Justice Shroud by banishing the two monsters from our graveyard. I love the fact that our summoning conditions are really just as easy as banishing two. We get our revive. Hello, friend. And then Baron on back. We make the Chaos Angel over here. We go ahead and drop the Arrival. And we go ahead and toggle up into the Apo. And then you see the rest of our hand was just pure gas here, ending us on reframing and the absolute value. All right, we're going to pass on over for some extra content. Quick little point out from the combo video that you just watched. We shoveled back the Arrival, so we didn't trigger the first Reinhardt's effect, because do remember it is a once per turn effect. So we save it to search later on in the combo. So for somebody that's going to comment down below, I got that edited in here so you know that. All right, so we have a showcase of what this deck can actually do for you here, and we actually opened up pretty decent. Riem Heart here, Ebsen, we got the Imperm, we got the Meek, and we got the Book of Eclipse. So where are we heading here? Stand by main phase. Our opponent's going to go ahead and Nimble Angler on up into the good card. There's the Gigantic, and we're going to go ahead and Imperm it. All right, well, now we get to watch our opponent climb up into the rest of the Sprite combo, because there's that into the Jet. Oh boy. Alright, we're going to go ahead and bring out the Double Cross. Sure. We're fully set up here. And we're going to go ahead and make the Djinn Buster. Interesting little inclusion here, but I mean, they're set up and we drew the Arrival for turn. We got to play around double back row here, which should be fully possible. Book of Eclipse, go ahead and turn those down. We're going to go ahead and search for Manadome reframing off of this. We're going to go ahead and do Meek here for the special, and then we're going to go ahead and smash down Ascension. Go ahead and pop off that. We're going to grab the Calarium here. Alright, Calarium comes on down. We're going to get our free Vices, Starfrost. Vices is going to go ahead and pop. We'll go ahead and special. Get our revive and our additional extender here. Wow, we're just loading up here. Alright, now we're going to go down full Scareclaw combo. They're going to go ahead and actually Ghost Mourner here to cut us off, which is actually fine. We're going to go ahead and make the Excel. Alright, we're going to go ahead and Excel on into the Baron. And we're going to go ahead and load on up here into the Cross Sheep. We've already met the requirements, so we can actually touch down here into Vicious Estrada. Now, once again, remember, you get to banish from the field and or graveyard, and then if this card is supposed to target one other monster on the field, destroy it, and if this card gains attack equal to half the attack it had on the field. Alright, we're going to go ahead and toggle Cross Sheep, pop that, we'll get our revive. We're actually going to go ahead into the Chaos Angel here. So once again, free little stepping stones for this deck is what makes this deck incredibly fun. We're going to go ahead and swing on in for 700. 3,500. We're going to go ahead and Sprite Starter. I guess need a chum block. Perfectly understandable. Go ahead and get our Jet. Alright. Swing on over. And then Baron does its thing. We are in an incredibly good position here. We're going to go ahead and pop the double cross so we no longer have to deal with that. And we have reframing set up here. So, I mean, all right. Go ahead and set that good card. They're going to go ahead and nimble it on up. And we're just going to negate the scoop very, very easily there. That felt like a very good, strong game for us. We played out of that relatively well. And that's what I like to see. Here's the good card. I see they did board in anti-spell, though, and we're playing some super heavy stuff in here. Interesting. All right, we're going to go ahead and see the Nimble come on down. All right, I'm going to go ahead and toggle on in to that. We're going to imperm that. Then they have the starter again. I love starter. So good. There's the jet extension. Go ahead and special. We're going to grab double cross again. Go ahead and make the degen and pass on over. We're going to go ahead and get anti-spelled here. Alright, and we have the double cross to deal with. Luckily for us, we have this very good card off the top deck. Standby, battle phase evenly comes down, and then we're going to go ahead and the hero lives. I'm very surprised that they didn't keep the anti-spell. But I get it. Prisma, alright. It's cost to send. Yeah, you could Veiler us. Alright, minus 500, sure. We're going to go ahead and activate Rhoda now. Alright, I'm going to grab Riem Heart here. This being a cost to send is like by far one of the best things that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has ever functionally done. Riem Heart's going to do its thing. We're going to get Veilered here. We're going to go ahead and call by that. And our opponent is going to scoop it up with the quickness. I will say in terms of what you were seeing here for combo, they did set up relatively well, but it just proves how good of a cleanup evenly matched is. And, you know, for what you've seen in terms of combo for this deck has some really cool plays going about it. And obviously your Hero Lives package is going to be one of the craziest things that you'll be able to see this deck toggle for. Because once you kind of start opening up the Pandora's box of, oh boy, you know, here comes the value tree of, you know, free special summons toggling on through here, your opponent's going to kind of look at you and go, I don't have a response to that. Like, what am I supposed to do to that? And not really a lot is kind of the big thing. All right, we're going to pass on over so you can see what this deck is capable of in the deck profile. All right, so this is what we have working for Manadome here. And I will say that you have a lot of answers for a lot of the current metagame things you're going to have to do. But the biggest thing you need to understand is a Hero Lives is just full insane combo in this deck, because Prisma converts down a Visus because you get to drop it off of the Astrout. And then you get to automatically go into Lightheart here, which then gives you full Scareclaw combo and opens up the door. That's why, you know, paying half of your life points for this line of play with this deck and makes this an incredibly devastating combo that your opponent is not going to really know how to handle. So very, very important to kind of mention that here. So we play the triple copies of Room Heart here. Most of the Visus clones basically give pretty good extra effects. We have triple copies of Meek, which is going to be your tuner, free special summon, and is going to float into additional copies of itself. And then we have 2 copies of the Hearless here, another tuner monster, and another free special summon, so you can do your thing. We have 2 copies of Reinhardt here. We have triple copies of Visus Starfrost. Yes, you are going to be bulking down on what feels like 3 of these because this card is that good. We are playing 2 Kumamungus, 1 Gamma Seal. These are just kind of results of the format here. You're kind of forced to play cards to take out opponents' boss monsters so you can kind of actually play the game. You can very easily, depending on how a format shift occurs, change these for other options. And then, of course, we have 1 Prisma with your triple Hero Lives. You can try to play 1 more Prisma if you really want to, but, I mean, they already have the Rhoda in here anyway, so you've got a lot to really consider. Obviously, you can Rhoda for the Room Heart as well, or, you know, the Reinhardt, depending here, but if you need to see the Prisma in some sort of capacity, you have different play lines to access it. Of course, we have triple copies of Manadome Imagining, with triple copies of Ascension, and then triple copies of Book of Eclipse. Another standard result of the format here. You can shift this out or adjust depending on how things shape up here in the future. We have 2 copies of Phobia with 2 copies of Arrival. We have 1 Terraforming with 1 Call by the Grave, triple copies of Infinite Permanence, and 1 copy of the Reframing here. Yeah, basically free synchro, laugh at your opponent, negate. And then, of course, you play the 1 Lightheart with your 1 Unicorn, One Cross Sheep, which you saw was very important for the combo for, you know, a Stroud here for the revive. We have one Apple with one Stardust Charge, one Ice Jade, one Draco Berserker with one Coral Dragon, one Chaos Angel, one Bysteel Crazy Guy, one Borreload Savage, one Baron, your one Excel Synchro, and then two copies of a Stroud here, wrapping up, well, the power of Manadome. Yeah, basically Manadome Vice's shenanigans. I will say this deck is quite interesting to see work. So, what do you guys think? Please, comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.